This farm was here 3 generations before me, and I want it to be here at least 3 or more generations past. Lots of good memories here, and that's what I want for my family too.
Farming is a lifestyle. It provides a lot of meaning to people. You're providing something that the world needs. The average age of a Texas farmer, according to the last census, is 60 years old. Either people are retiring and getting into agriculture as kind of their second job or lifestyle, or they're never aging out. And it's very important that farmers, they're able to farm as long as they can or want to, because we don't have people stepping in at really young ages to do that.
Getting the business started, working with only a few head of cow and being frustrated on high cost of feed and high cost of everything. Yeah, you're tempted to sell just 2 calves and pay that off, you know? It just doesn't work. So I guess, I never thought that I'd be ranching at the end of my life, but I'm glad I am, you know.
Stanton Hill isn't your traditional rancher. He had never run a farm or ag operation before his accident, and he never intended to. But after 6 knee replacements and an amputation, everything changed.
10 years ago, I was working for a prominent eye doctor in College Station, and I was on my motorcycle coming to and from work, and I went down and I got a road rash real bad. And the doctor's surgeon told me, he said, we don't have to cut it off right now, but sooner or later we'll have to cut it off. And when they did, I had to look for employment for a one-legged person. And for the amputees out there, you know what I'm saying. No one wants to hire an amputee. It's not gonna happen. So I had to find a job that I could be the boss.
Having lost his life savings to medical bills, Stanton had to effectively start over. But his parents still owned his grandfather's farm. And so he enrolled in Texas A&M AgrAlife's program for new farmers.
Stanton came to us through our Battleground to Breaking Ground program. He had recently undergone an amputation to one of his legs, so his access to his farm and his equipment looked a lot different than it probably had before. He had originally came to us saying, I think I just need an extra step maybe on my tractor, but when we watched him get on and off of his tractor, he was really like climbing up, using a lot of upper body, not in a very great way. And we thought, well, yes, you can do that, but what is that gonna look like on your body for years to come? And he disclosed at the time that within a month of us visiting, he was gonna have to have a shoulder replacement surgery.
I needed some help, so I went to McKenzie's, and they came out and they took notes and they said, okay, looks like something that maybe he could use, a handle for the brake, a lift to get the beast here running, just things that they could help me with if we get the funding for it.
But AgrAbility often has to go through Texas Workforce Commission, which can take years to approve funding. So, in a bid for philanthropic collaboration, Mackenzie reached out to an unconventional partner, West Texas A&M University.
The world is evolving, so the hard line between these disciplines are kind of disappearing. So we started with electrical and mechanical engineering students having senior design projects together, because we have to build a physical product that needs to be both economically and technically viable. And the biggest one from a humane point is the AgrAbility projects.
Texas AgrAbility is a project that's nationally funded through the USDA, and we assist farmers and ranchers that have disabilities, chronic health conditions and any functional limitations in agriculture. So a lot of things that we look at are access to their implements and equipment, so extended steps on tractors or a tractor lift. For Stanton, we went ahead and recommended a tractor lift, but a typical tractor platform lift can run between $6,000 to $15,000. So that's a pretty big cost, especially for a beginning farmer. And it was something that he needed to do to start his business now.
So with a budget of just $1,500, Mackenzie cold called Professor Parthipan, asking if he would consider building this lift through his student senior design project. And he said yes.
I didn't know anything much about AgrAbility or what they do or how they do it, but these projects will help them to have that sense that engineers are important for society and they have a bigger role to play in the society. That's a lesson that I cannot teach my students in my classroom setup.
The installment was a really exciting day for us, and those students drove, I think, 8 hours that day. They unloaded everything, put it together themselves, but also got to see him try it out, kind of troubleshoot some things. So it was really cool for them to see firsthand how that impacted a person.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate y'all. With all the stuff that happened today, I'm trying as hard as I can not to get up and do a happy dance. I'll probably fall down. But I'm extremely grateful. One of the most difficult things I was doing was getting up and down in this tractor all the time.
Once they finished, everyone was overwhelmed and they were very proud that their product definitely benefited the customer, which is not something that we can say for every engineering product, right? But this was very satisfying and they felt like they have done the right thing with their engineering degree.
Sometimes farmers are told, well, it might be better just to hang the keys up. Let's just give that up. But farmers find a lot of meaning and purpose in their job. So sometimes it's a very slight modification that can be made, and that can keep them farming for 10 or 15 years to come. And that prolongs their life, that gives them purpose and meaning, and that's really what it's all about.
I feel great. I'm starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel. I'm one generation off of producing a more than pay the bills herd. And it's been such a blessing from my family to have this place for me. And I would really like for that option for my kids and grandkids when that time comes.